Hello and welcome back to our Orc Shaman playthrough, and you can see here we're actually gonna avoid combat. Yeah, I know. I'm avoiding combat pretty much every single time, and you can also see that we have joined a new army. I was serving with the leader of the faction for well over 115 days, 120 days, I don't know, something like that, and I was literally just trying to train spellcraft as best as I can. As you can see, we have 128 in spellcraft now. I have 105 in faith, so we've actually hit that goal. As you can see, 106 in faith actually. So we've hit that goal, and all I need to do now is get to 150 in spellcraft, and then we need to learn some orc enchants. Obviously, orc enchantments, they're quite expensive, so I don't currently have the ability to get any of those. I don't know, you know, I can't afford them really, basically. So that's obviously going to be a problem, but apart from that, we also don't really have any loot. We haven't really done anything in regards to that, and we need to loot some shrines. So that's going to be really, really fun, actually, because I have never, ever looted a shrine before. So I think that's going to be quite fun. And, well, yeah, basically this is what I've been doing. Literally just waiting until they go into a town, having a look at some of the things in the... well, maybe we should actually have a look and, you know, maybe see if we can get some stuff. Because obviously, here's the thing. Some people said in the comments that I can equip really, really heavy armor. But the problem with that is that that will reduce our winds of magic generation. It says in the manual that let me actually just I'm just gonna get it up real quick just so I can show you. Get it up. Not that way, not in that way. Anyway, so yes, what it says here is winds of magic region is greatly reduced with armor heavier than 15 kg or 15 whatever this is, right? So basically that means that if we are if we're 15 over instead of this, you know, because we've got 5.6 at the moment. So let's just say that we were 15 over, that would be really, really bad. That would mean that we would be having some issues, right? However, I could potentially get some Orc Shaman robe things. Orc Shaman robe things right there. We could potentially get that and then potentially enchant it ourselves. However, the problem is we are going to be missing out on the wonderful... I can't actually mouse over this while it's equipped on me, but you know it gives us 6% wood save. And I've actually gone into a couple of battles. I have gone into a couple of battles, and they have been not that bad. I have actually survived quite a lot. Should I just buy this hat? There. Perfect. Alright, looks great, doesn't it? Oh, it's absolutely amazing. The fashion is just crazy good right here, right? Yeah, so what about a shield? Should we get a shield? I don't know. I mean, that's the question. I think maybe getting a staff would probably make sense, right? Yeah, there we go, there we go. Nice, an Orc Shaman staff. What does it do, though? This item provides its wearer 5% magical resistance as well as 5% magical damage amplification. Alright, okay. What about a Death Wizard staff? That basically does the exact same thing. Okay. Right. Okay, so this basically makes no difference whatsoever. So I will just buy this then. It's going to cost me 8,000, but obviously I have a significant amount of money as it is. Because, yes, you know. Oh, yes. You know. I've been just, you know, standing here. Yeah, as a hireling, doing whatever I can to generate as much experience and things as possible. As you can see, I do have a little bit of one-handed skill, so I am going to go for, I guess, handling, you know, that kind of makes sense, I guess, a little bit. And we are going to be increasing our faith skill just to make sure that it is going to be getting as much of a bonus as possible. And you're also going to see here, we're going to go for this wonderful skill here that gives us 500 faith skill experience while waiting in a town. And indeed, we're going to be going for, I believe... I don't really like Storyteller, unfortunately. I don't really like Storyteller because it literally just gives... It gives us so many random perks for our companions, and I'm not a big fan of that. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Librarian, because this also provides us with learning new spells costing 50% less gold. I mean, how can we say no to that, right? I think that's going to be super, super nice. And apart from that, we're going to be just going for another point into medicine. So that's going to be nice too. Now, I do have a couple of career points to spend as well. Now, the question is, do we want to go with this? Get 15 Mumbo Jumbo points after winning scraps. We could potentially do that, or we could go for after winning brawls. Yeah, see, now the problem is that's actually a brawl. I believe that is actually a real, that's actually a brawl in a town in comparison to this, which is winning scraps. I believe scraps are battles. So yeah, that's the problem there. I could potentially go, I mean, I really want to go for this so that we actually see here that our career ability is literally ready immediately upon entering a battle. So we just need to level up a little bit more and then we can see what we can do. But yeah, you can see here, we now have a maximum of 58. So that's quite nice. The boss isn't going to like this. So we literally cannot do a brawl while we are a hireling. I find it absolutely hilarious that they added a tooltip for that as well. That is fantastic. Because it literally says, the boss isn't going to like this. And I think that's just amazing. That's so fun. But yeah, otherwise, we're going to have to learn some additional spells. I have actually, shall we say, rethought my opinion on the only spell that we have to a certain degree. It doesn't work when we are in point-blank range. That's my only, well, I mean, technically it kind of saves you from killing yourself, obviously, with the splash damage. But I do like it when a spell is literally just going to blow up in your face if you're stupid with it. I think it's kind of fun to do that sometimes, you know. Obviously, you don't really want to do that all the time, but I do think that most of the time you kind of want to have the ability to do it if you need to. So, for example, if you are surrounded by an overwhelming amount of enemies and you have a spell that can immediately kill them and get them off you, and you can potentially survive from the AoE damage just because you've got some magic resistance or whatever, then I personally feel like that is something that you might and could want to do. I mean, maybe, you know, it's a pretty fun idea. Anyway, as I said, we're going to try and increase our spellcraft. I really do want to ideally get to 150 before we do anything else, but I kind of wanted to show you a bit of a, shall we say, status update on what's been going on. As I said, I don't really do any real fighting unless I am forced into it. So if we go into a fight and well, it's a fight that we must go into, then I will go in there and I'll just basically buff my forces and I'll try to use my spell as much as I possibly can. And it has proven to get us a little bit of extra experience, but overall I do find the ability to just stay in the army. As you can see, I've gotten two points in spellcraft in the last, well, 3 points actually now, in the last minute or two, I think, and I feel like that's pretty good, you know, that the rate of increase for the skill itself actually makes a huge difference. I actually feel like it is very useful in comparison to going into an actual battle and flinging spells at people, because as I said, you kind of need to, well, you kind of need to hit a huge amount of enemies to get anything from spellcraft experience, which is actually quite funny, but obviously that is to be expected, I guess. And you know, especially considering most of the time maybe you're probably not even going to be killing enemies with this spell for some reason. I guess it's because the enemy has really good stats or something like that. Maybe they even have 275 in medicine skill. Maybe that's the reason, because they have so much HP. That might very well make a difference as well. Anyway, in this particular episode, obviously, they're, as you can see right here, the orcs have actually decided to go for a very large army here. We're going to be going and besieging the Tower of Grom, I guess. Yep, they are going ahead and doing that. And we are no doubt going to be entering. We're going to enter the siege with them, because this is, well, this is forced on me at this point. We're going to have to do it. I do have to admit that actually going into a battle as a hireling is not actually that useful. I'm going to say that right now. If you want to be efficient, or if you want to, you know, get experience and stuff like that, it's not actually that good, because what ends up happening is you end up taking damage, right? You end up taking damage and maybe even getting yourself killed. And then when you're out of the battle, well, then you need to regenerate all of your HP, and you can see here I have 218 HP, which is pretty significant, and it takes a massive amount of time to regenerate all of that HP. And I do have to admit that is kind of annoying, because then you're basically having to regenerate that HP without basically getting anything. I mean, you're getting some money, obviously. You're getting money every single day, and that is the one thing that is actually really good about it. But you're not getting experience, which is obviously the main reason why you're even being a hireling to begin with. Because obviously you want to get spellcraft skill, you want to get faith, you want to get whatever else you can train. So that's one thing that I don't really like, that, because it takes so long. That's the only thing. It just takes so long for us to regenerate. That's the only thing. Obviously, when we are having our own, when we have our own army and we're able to use our, should we say, our own medicine skill to regenerate really, really quickly, because I personally don't believe that we have a very high medicine skill. I don't think our forces have very high medicine skill, so, that's the reason why it takes so long. And hopefully I'm not going to get absolutely murdered here. I do have an Orc Shaman headpiece on now, though, which does improve our protection by 10, which is absolutely ridiculously bad, but yeah, maybe it's going to be somewhat good. Anyway, I am going to use my staff. Yes, I am going to use my staff to basically do nothing, because, well, there's no point. Just going to stand behind these guys. And we're just going to wait and see what actually happens. Oh, hello. Wait a minute. Let me actually make my way over here. Oh, hello. Yes. Ah, this is perfect. All right, so I'm going to use my ability right now. It's going to buff. Oh, I literally buffed. Ah, there we go. There they are. Okay, I was like, wait a minute. I only buffed 2 people. No, I actually buffed many more than that. That's good. All right, so the question is, do I have any groups of units? See, now this is the problem. I don't have any groups of units that I can really use my spells on. So I kind of just have to use my main ability here and then just kind of wait for the right opportunity. And that does have its drawbacks, of course, because we're going to be taking some significant damage over time here. And yeah, there isn't really much I can... Oh no, we are taking significant casualties. What is going on here? Are they trying to fight someone up above or something like that? That might be the case. Okay, well, let me just gaze him orc. Okay, let's actually just do that. Boom, boom. There we go. Nice. Actually killed someone, surprisingly enough. I wouldn't have expected us to be able to do that. But we're getting some nice winds of magic right here. We're, I can't actually see that because I'm spamming it with vroom vroom right now. But, yeah, you can see that we are actually getting some gains. And here we go. I can actually use this again. So let's use this. Or it just phased through the target. All right, yeah. I found that has happened a few times now. It's not actually... I'm not sure if it's my fault. Is it my fault? I'm assuming it's my fault in some way. But, yeah, that is a little bit disappointing, let's just say that. Because, obviously, in the grand scheme of things, I would love to be able to do some damage in those moments. Oh, hello. Why do they have orcs? These guys have orcs in the garrison? What is actually going on with that? Okay, these guys have orcs for some reason. Alright, well, that is kind of weird. Alright, I guess I'm going to do some damage to these guys then. If I can. Or not, because apparently I threw the spell and it didn't do anything. Alright, well, yeah. I have found that has happened multiple times now. I think it is probably just this spell that is actually giving me some problems, because I found in the past that some spells just have really, really low accuracy or something. But, as I say, it's probably user error. If anything, I'm probably going to get killed in a second now as well. This has been my experience, with this character so far. Unfortunately, as you can see, I literally used it, didn't do anything. It didn't actually hit the ground either. Technically, it can hit the ground and actually explode and do some pretty good damage. I've seen that happen before. I actually got some really good spellcraft skill by doing that. But unfortunately, it looks as though it hasn't been very kind to us in this siege. I don't know why. But yeah, we're gonna... Obviously, we will be achieving Are we? It looks like we're not going to be achieving victory. I mean, we will be achieving victory. It will just take us a lot longer. I'm actually kind of surprised. Yeah, no, I'm actually kind of surprised. But I mean, I guess they just don't have that many units in the garrison here to defend themselves. Because we obviously have 1,600 troops, so it's going to be very, very unlikely that the enemy will be able to fight back against that. But, yeah, I guess we'll see what happens. Alright, so there we go. We actually got a significant amount of renown. I'm talking about 0.2. I'm being funny, of course. That is a pitiful amount, but it's okay because we are now back on the world map where we can actually start getting some experience. Oh, psych, because we're not actually getting that either because I have to wait until I'm at full HP. But yeah, you can see here we are actually gaining medicine skill, so I'm assuming that it's actually me doing the medicine, right? Because I'm the one that's repairing myself, or should we say regenerating my own HP, and that must be the case. So in other words, it's going to take me quite some time before I can start to earn spellcraft experience again, and we were pretty close. Look at that, we're 137, we're pretty close to 150. I do want to get to 150, just purely because that's the next, well... Yeah, I mean, I want Overcaster, to be honest. Overcaster is going to be extremely, extremely powerful for us, in my opinion. But yeah, I'd like to get that if I can. And, yeah, obviously, Master Spellcaster. Yeah, it's going to take a long time for us to get our hands on that. Now, there's actually something really, really cool that I haven't ever used before, and that is the photo mode. Yeah, I know. I've never used this. Now, the funny thing is, I have no idea about any of the controls or anything like that, but I thought that this would be extremely cool to look at because there's literally, obviously, as you can see right here, a cannonball that is being launched into the sky. And for me personally, I feel like seeing this kind of thing in a slow motion, well, it's not even slow motion really, but in a still frame sort of sense, I feel like it's super, super cool. And you can literally look at every single thing that you want to, you know, I mean, obviously, if you've used photo mode before, you kind of know what's going on already, but I have no idea. How am I supposed to actually... Ah, here we go. I guess something like... Oh, heat death. Okay, yeah, there's a huge amount of different... Wow, loads of different filters, actually. What about tapestry? Yeah, tapestry's looking kind of nice. We can toggle the vignette as well. And then we can hide the UI, and we can zoom in on this fellow's face. Look at him. Wow, yes, he's doing a fantastic job. But yeah, I just thought I'd show you that because it's actually very cool that that's actually in the game. It's such a minor thing, but it's such a cool feature if you use it appropriately, of course. Anyway, I'm going to try and see if I can maybe get a couple of kills with my wonderful spells. Let's try that out, shall we? So, we're going to just buff ourselves a little bit. I doubt we're actually going to be getting anything from this, but maybe we will. But the main reason why I'm doing it is to get a free Gaze of Mork, right? A free Gaze of Mork. So, yeah, let's try and do that. There we go. Oh, we actually did... Yeah, why do we do so little damage? I literally fling that thing at a massive amount of enemy units, but for some reason... I am then only greeted by one target being damaged. I don't know why. Why is that? That's very strange. I don't know. Anyway, we're just going to do this and try to buff ourselves a little bit more. We're going to be continuing to get Winds of Magic, as you can see right there. That's obviously really, really nice. And once again, Gaze of Mork. Gaze of Mork is going to be ready. And let's get the free one. And let's just see what I can do here. Can I actually hit anyone that is... next to someone else? I'd like to be able to do damage to more than just one target. Yeah, as you can see, we did a pitiful amount of damage to two targets. It's so funny, actually, as well, because these kinds of battles, whenever I do this off screen, and it's probably not going to be believable, because let's face it, you know, if I don't have it on screen, then it, you know, it never happened, right? Yeah. Anyway, the point is, whenever I'm off screen and I do these kinds of battles, and I'm you know, that I'm forced into, I literally get over 1,200 damage with one spell, and it's actually extremely good. Obviously, it still gives me just one spellcraft point, which is absolutely terrible, but it still gives us that spellcraft point and a relatively satisfying amount of damage. But yeah, the way it is right now with what I've got going on here, yeah, not really very helpful. Can I actually kill this guy? No, we did 144 damage to him, though. That's pretty decent. That's not too bad. Obviously, not much spellcraft skill. Oh, now here we go. We've got a very, very large battle on our hands here. We're against the Grand Marshal. One of the Grand Marshals. I don't know if there's more than one. I have no idea, but whatever the case, we're going to have to do some damage. And that means let's buff ourselves and try to use Gaze of Mork. I'm going to see if I can... Well, I cannot see anything. There we go. Yeah, I'm going to just have to move a little bit here. There we go. Let's use that. There we are. Okay, I did 100... What? Really? 140... Come on now. We can do a lot better than that, can't we? Yes, there we go. See, that's what I'm talking about. 940 damage. That's what I want to see. Thank you very much. Okay. Yeah, well, after I've done that, I basically... well, I'm basically just a one-shot wonder at this point. I literally don't do anything else. I don't have any melee skills. Very, very few melee skills, so can't do much. Let's buff ourselves here. We're going to get a little bit of Winds of Magic from this. And then we can maybe do some more damage here as well. Let's see, what do I have? Okay, maybe this guy. Nice, look at that. One down. That is absolutely perfect. Ah, dearie me. Okay, can I get it for free now? Can I get the free cast? I apparently did get the free cast, but I have to wait for the cooldown to come back. Okay, yeah, well, that's obviously fine. Now, let's see if... Ah, here we go. Okay, more enemies over in this direction. Let's see if I can maybe get a handful of them included in the radius. That doesn't seem to be a thing. Yes, that's unfortunate, isn't it? Yeah. So, this is basically the... Well, the standard. This is the standard kind of experience that I have been seeing time and time again whenever we go into a battle. As a hireling, we're not really going to be getting much of anything at all. It's kind of sad. Unfortunately. Because obviously the damage that we take is kind of, well, it's kind of pointless, as I said, because if we're at 100%, we have an overwhelming disadvantage, by the way, here, so we are going to be killed. That is it. There is not much we can do here, and obviously thanks to the fact that we are a hireling, we don't really have to worry about much. I can just try to farm as much experience as I possibly can, try to help our forces as much as I can. Obviously, that just means buffing us and trying to do a little bit of damage here and there. Maybe I can get to 140 or something like that in Spellcraft. I don't know if I'm going to be able to, but yeah, it's going to be a bit of a tough one because we are just so overwhelmingly outnumbered at this point. So let's try and buff ourselves a little bit here. Let's buff ourselves right now, and let's try and do some damage. There we go. See that? Nice. Look at that. Nice. 1100 magical damage. And we are getting some Winds of Magic as well. And we are also going to be able to cast a spell once again. Let me cast a spell right here. Nice. Look at that. I did actually end up doing a little bit of, you know, friendly fire damage. But that's just how it is. That's just how it is. And otherwise, I'm just going to stand around here. Unfortunately, not really able to do too much. Let's buff ourselves again. Obviously, if my forces end up dying when they're buffed, we actually end up losing Winds of Magic. So that's a thing that we need to be a bit aware of. Yeah, maybe once this runs out a little bit, I'll be able to... Yep, there we go. We can use the spell again. Let me see if I can find a decent target. What about these guys right here? Yeah, no, not a terribly big fan. Not a terribly big fan of that. You know what? Okay, fine, I'll do it. Oh. Okay. It didn't actually do anything. For some reason. It didn't do anything, but it gave me spellcraft skill, which is quite funny in itself. But yeah, this is definitely going to be a defeat because we're just, you know, we just have an overwhelming disadvantage, of course. And I am going to use my spell on these guys. Oh, that just completely missed. I did hit someone though. Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting, I guess, at least. And I'm just going to fling this at them. Okay, that just completely missed, and I'm dead. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, I mean, obviously, we're gonna lose anyway, you know, I'm just trying to make the best of it. I did actually get 11 kills. That's probably the most I've actually ever killed as a hireling in this particular campaign so far. So, you are witness to the greatest performance that I've ever had. Oh, dearie me. Anyway, there it is. All right, so we're going to have to leave it to the others right now. And, well, obviously, you know, that doesn't really... Oh, wait. Oh, no, there you go. Yeah, no. It was just taking a little bit of time to sort of update on what was currently happening. And the funny thing is, I don't even know... Oh, yeah, we're all the way over here. Oh, okay. That's kind of bad for us. That's kind of bad, because I am now going to be... Oh, no, I'm actually pretty fast. I'm moving relatively fast on the world map. I thought we would have some big issues with that, but no, actually we're doing okay. So I am gonna go in here, obviously for no particular reason. I'm just gonna go in here. I kind of thought that I would wait here for a little bit of time and try to restore myself, but I feel like, well, there aren't that many enemies in this area, so it might as well not, right? So what I'm gonna do now is I'm no longer gonna be a hireling. I'm actually gonna recruit my own people. So I'm gonna get some black orcs. We're gonna get... Wow, okay, yeah. These guys, Reichland really knows what's up, don't they? Yeah, they are going to absolutely destroy everything in this area here. Hopefully the orcs will fight back sometime soon. But yeah, they've actually done a really, really good job, by the way. The orcs have expanded quite dramatically around here, which is pretty nice for them. Funnily enough, Empire Marksman. Why is there an Empire Marksman right there? I have no idea. I'm not going to recruit anyone from here. Thank you very much. Okay, yeah. Let's instead go over to the village, and we are actually going to get our own. We're going to get our own party this time. We're going to get our own party, and we're going to see what we can do about, you know, advancing that way. I did get some renown, by the way. I'm actually almost renowned clan tier 2. I probably should have. Oh no. Okay, can I run away from this actually before we get attacked? I think maybe we can. I could probably just pay them, to be honest, but I don't really want to pay them. So I'm gonna be a bit stubborn about this. Okay, oh, we got some more black orcs. Okay, that's pretty fantastic. Do these guys actually want to fight me right here? Okay, you know what? Yeah, they see, they're running. They're running. They know exactly what they're going to get if they stick around here. Orc Shaman Rogue things. Orc Shaman Rogue things as well. And we got a bunch of other stuff. Yeah, well, this obviously doesn't really... I don't really care about buying this, do I? I mean, 6%... That's the thing. What is 6% ward save going to do for us if we take a look at it right here? Because 6% ward save... does that mean that it increases my ward save by 6%? As in, does it increase the raw value of our ward save? Or does it give us 6% ward save? Because that would be kind of insane, right? That would be kind of amazing. I highly doubt that it's the second one, but yeah, well, we'll see. Anyway, I'm just going to go in here. We're going to fight these guys. Okay, this is going to be kind of interesting. I'm not sure if we're even going to be able to achieve victory here. This is the first time I have gone into an actual battle with, well, basically no perks. Look at my perks. My perks are absolutely terrible. Okay, so I am very low in HP as well, so basically we need to play the most perfect support role that I possibly can. I'm going to tell my forces to charge in here. Going to use my spell right now. Going to use Gazemork to do some damage. And the problem is with this, I'm going to have to do... Oh wow, this is bad. This is actually bad. I'm going to have to move like this. I cannot see anything because of the green. It's actually hilarious. Okay, let's do some damage there. There we go. Okay, we did 400 damage. I did hit 2 allies, unfortunately. But we are doing much better than anticipated. Okay, nice. Oh, yeah, it's actually a lot better. Okay, now let's use this on the archers. There we go, a little bit of extra damage. We did get... nice. We got another spellcraft point. I am going to die from this. Possibly. Or maybe not. No, maybe not. Actually, we're going to be okay. I'm losing some people, but that's all right as well. I don't even know whether I really care about using my polearm right now. Do I care about weapon skills? I don't think so, right? Anyway, we did get 5.7. 5.7 renown. That means we're pretty close, actually. We're pretty close to where we want to be. I don't really want to get orc boys, but I am going to take them just in case. We can level these guys up. Unfortunately, it is... yes, it's going to cost us a lot of teeth. 26 teeth. That's actually not even entirely bad. That's not too terrible. We're going to be spending 1,200, however, and indeed, there you go. We've got some really nice stuff right here. So technically, what I could do is I could use these fine orc proper shoulder pads if we wanted to. However, the problem with that is they're pretty heavy. we could use them. That would give me a lot of extra body armor. And as you can see, we're still under 15 weight, so that's pretty decent. Okay, yeah, sure, fine. We're gonna wear them, and we're gonna see what happens, because maybe we're gonna come across some magical items, or maybe I will even have the opportunity to enchant some gear. That would be kind of fun, right? I think that would be kind of fun. I don't know whether we can even do that, but I think we can, because we actually accessed that in the previous episode. So yeah, that would be really, really exceptional, to be honest. Anyway, let's see if we can recruit some more people here. Empire Sergeant. No, thank you. I will not be recruiting any human units. Any humies. No, we don't want any blasted stinking humies, do we? No, we certainly don't. Alright, so otherwise I am actually just going to be recruiting some more of these guys. Why not? Let's go into the trade screen here as well. We might as well take a look. Didn't we already take a look at this guy? I think we already looked in here, and we didn't really see anything. I think we actually purchased our Orc Shaman cap from this. So, yeah, we don't really need to do anything here. I am going to sell this stuff, though. Yeah, I'm just going to sell everything here. Just make a little bit of cash. Obviously, it's going to be absolutely just atrocious, to be honest. And we'll just sell some of this. And that's pretty much it. How many days do I have? 12 days? Oh, that's pretty good. That's not too bad. That's okay. I didn't have any of these. Oh, we got a big boss right here. Do we want to get a companion? He's got steward skill. Maybe that is a good idea. Do we want to get him? I think maybe we do, but he's going to be 10,000. Just to bear in mind, he's going to be 10,000. The question is, can we take his civilian gear off him? Is that still available? Is that strategy still available? I've got a job for you. We's gonna go war. Give me 10,000 and let's war. Yeah, actually, to be honest, sure, why not? Okay, there you go. Gonna give him 10,000. Hopefully he's got some really, really good gear. I kind of think he's probably not. So it's probably not going to be significantly good that I just recruited this guy. But he is going to give us steward skill, so I don't necessarily need to level it myself, which would be quite nice. Here's his civilian outfit. So yeah, he actually does have some pretty nice stuff, and we can indeed sell this. Unfortunately, as you can see, yeah, it's not as good because they have actually made them all rusty. They made them all rusty and stuff like that. So the gear is really, really low in regards to its, well, money returns. So we can just make a little bit of here, a little bit of money, Nothing too dramatic. And yeah, we now have a pretty good fighting army. Not too bad. And obviously, we do have our career ability that is definitely going to make a big difference to them, or at least hopefully will. And I'd like to fight some Empire deserters if at all possible. I think that would be pretty nice. I think they do drop some enchanting gear. I think. I could be wrong about that, but I think they do. I think some people actually told me that in the Dwarf series. They were telling me about all kinds of different, all kinds of different places that we can find enchanting gear, and I think Empire deserters someone actually mentioned. So let's actually come on out. Yes, nice, absolutely perfect. Okay, this is really, really perfect, just purely because we were able to get both parties in the battle at once. That's really going to make a huge difference. I actually didn't even make this guy my steward yet, which is hilarious. Let me go and do that. There we go, our quartermaster, shall we say. And otherwise, I only have 8. I only have 8 winds of magic. We're gonna have to do something about that. Alright, so let's see what we can do. I have my ability in about 5 seconds. I'm gonna tell my forces to charge in right away, and we're gonna use my ability immediately upon getting it. There it is. Now I will be getting my winds of magic as well. I kind of you know what? I feel like what we should have is maybe we should get our winds of magic every single time they hit something rather than kills, but maybe that would make it too easy. I don't know. Anyway, we will be attempting to clobber some people, clobber some humies with our one-handed mace, because the one-handed mace is actually insanely good, as we found out. And I can do some damage with my spell here, but I am going to hit some of my own people. Or not, as the case may be, because as you saw right there, the spell literally just went right through them. Yes, it happens. It happens, doesn't it? Yes, it happens. Anyway, we did get 3.3 renown, which is actually the main reason why I did that, because I'd like to get to clan tier 2 as soon as possible, if I can. Yeah, actually, we don't even want this. We want the meat. Let me see here. Let's just level these guys into orc choppers. And then we have, oh, a masterwork item. That's not too bad. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm happy with that. And I believe... yeah, I believe we should probably go into our clan tier screen right here, and we are going to... Yes, 107. He has 107 in Steward. Actually, fantastic. And we're almost there. Look at that. I only need 13. That's pretty nice. And how are we actually doing in regards to this? Okay, so yes, as you can see, I have 145 out of 150. Learning enchantments, obviously that just takes time because I need some cash. And converting loot to teeth, I probably shouldn't be selling all my loot, to be honest. That's something that I should probably start saving from now on. And then we also need to loot some shrines. So we should probably go ahead and loot a shrine. Let me see. I know there is one over here. Yeah, there we go. So we're going to go over there. I'm not sure if we're even going to be able to do it because I have such a small army. That's the thing that I'm a little bit concerned about at the moment. I mean, I have 46 out of 79. I mean, technically I have a lot, right? Technically I have a lot, but the question is, am I going to be able to... Oh dear. Can I even afford getting these guys? I mean, literally it's 2,400. That's kind of significant, right? That's an expense that we may not be able to really sustain. So I'm a little bit worried about that. But let's try it. Okay, here we go. Loot the shrine for resources. The followers of Manan will remember this. Alright, let's do it. Let's loot the shrine. Hopefully no one will come... Oh, we did it? You successfully looted 400 gold, 40 meat, and 100 teeth. Tales of your butchering reach the ears of Manan's followers. What, that was it? Okay, can I, okay, every 5 days. Every 5 days we can do that. Okay, well, that's interesting. All right. I'm very, very pleased about that. Can we fight some of these orc raiders? Can we... Come on. Can he... No. Is he actually just going to run away? I am assuming he's just going to run away. Okay, fine. Let's just go and pray to Mork then. Pray to receive the blessing of Mork. And of course, we do have our medicine skill that we're leveling up as well. And oh, look at that. We got 2 faith skill points too. And we also leveled up. Okay, so what are we going to do? Well, we're probably going to do one-handed, right? Probably going to do one-handed. And I did get another career point as well. So let's spec that while we can. Better findiness of mumbo-jumbo things after scraps. In other words, magical items. Magical items. So in other words, we can find magical items that much better after battles. So that's going to be pretty fun. Otherwise, I think that's probably going to be it for this episode. Now that we're not a hireling anymore, I can more accurately and adequately have us progress toward our goals. Because obviously I just wanted to try and get as much spellcraft and faith skill as possible while I was a hireling, and that really made a huge difference. But it is not the most fun thing to show on a video, that's for sure. Anyway, I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.